back to my channel. My name is Marissa for those who are new here, and thank you so much for watching. In today's video, as you can see by the title, we are doing a full face of one brand, and today's brand is e.l.f. Now, e.l.f. has been my go-to brand for a very long time. They were a great source for affordable makeup, and when I wasn't doing the best financially and wanted to feel beautiful, I would get e.l.f. products because I knew, one, I could afford them, and two, they had really good quality. And even though like way back in the day it wasn't the best quality, I have seen over the years like how their quality has improved, and I have collected a lot of e.l.f. products over the years. But if you have not seen the haul that I did Labor Day weekend, like slash my birthday, I did order from the e.l.f. website, and I bought a lot of the stuff that you will see on my face today. And yeah, so hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and I would love you to subscribe if you are new here. Join the little family. It definitely helps me out when you guys like, comment, and subscribe. So if you want to see how I got this look, which is the first attempt of a halo eye, then let's go ahead and get started. Of course, I will link everything down below, as well as the video where I hauled all this stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so have you guys zoomed in? I'm really excited to be all set up. This backdrop is a work in progress, but I'm just excited to sit down to actually be able to film again and actually have like my lights set up. It's just, it's really exciting. Side note, I got this little pot from at home in a previous vlog. Actually, I think that vlog we'll be seeing, yeah, that vlog will go up before, but yeah, I got this at home, and it's just a planter, or it's like a regular plant pot, but I figured I'd use it for my brushes, so I thought that was a nice touch. Let's start with the item that I tried last night as well as this morning, and that is the e.l.f. Enhancing Lash and Brow Serum. I put this on my brows last night and this morning, as well as my lashes, and honestly I just see on my brows just like a little bit of a tint, nothing crazy. If you hear things in the background, Jordan's here and we are dog sitting my in-laws' dogs, so you'll hear some barking. Anyways, so I've used this twice and not really noticing a whole lot of difference with my brows. However, with my lashes, I'm kind of noticing they're kind of curling up a little bit more. So that's different. So I'll have to see if that continues. I already have like honestly naturally long lashes. So like length, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of difference, but I'm definitely seeing more in the curl. So I'll have to keep testing this out and let you know in a future speed reviews. The size I got is a mini version using some points from the e.l.f. website. I think I said this in the intro. Most of these items are going to be from the haul that I did over Labor Day weekend. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that up in the eye down below. But yeah, so that is going to be a TBD on if I like it or not. So we're going to go ahead and start with the makeup. And we're going to start with primer, and no shock here, I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This, for the longest time, was my only primer, and honestly, this is my favorite product. I just honestly take the putty applicator from e.l.f. and I just kind of scrape some and rub it all over. This is supposedly a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I have not tried that, but this does a really good job of smoothing out my pores. I have pores, if you're new here, I have a little bit of a pore problem in this like inner area right here, but I also like to bring it up on under my eyes as well as on my smile lines, because I've noticed when I've done that, it helps smooth out those areas, and I've noticed that depending on the concealer, I've noticed that it doesn't crease as easily. Now I am 29, I just turned 29, and I do have some under eye wrinkles as well as the start of some severe smile lines, which is fine, it's not a big deal. But this is how I usually just kind of tap it in and just spread it out. And honestly, like I feel like it does a really good job of filling in the pores. It kind of mattifies a little bit, but not like a whole lot, at least in my opinion and on my skin. So going on to concealer, now I have 3 different concealers from e.l.f. The first one, which is definitely too light for me, as you can see. This is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer Matte Finish. This was the first like camo concealer that came out, and it is their matte finish, and I have it in the shade Light Sand. Now, a long time ago, this was actually a pretty decent match, and it helped with brightening my under eye, but because the shade match is way off, I have been using it like an eye primer. This is also in my project pan, and I'm getting close to using it up. For under eye, I have this one that's practically empty. This is the Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Ivory. As you can see, this is a lot closer to my skin tone, and this is my favorite concealer out of the 2 because it's definitely hydrating, which I need on my normal to dry skin. But on top of it, I feel like it's very smoothing, and also it's fuller coverage. So I definitely can appreciate that, because as you have noticed, I don't wear foundation yet. So if you are new here, I don't typically wear foundation on like my day-to-day or really ever. The first foundation I've bought in a long time was the Charlotte Tilbury one that the Flawless Finish one, which my makeup artist suggested I get, and I wore that on my wedding day. That is the only foundation I've had in the past like few years and that I've used. But typically I'm not a big fan of foundation. I like more medium coverage, but I do like, you know, showing my freckles. For me, it's more of correcting redness, dark circles, that kind of stuff. And I feel like just more comfortable. And this is just my style. I'm not saying like foundation's absolutely horrible, because I do like the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. But for the most part, in most days, I just honestly want to correct and then add the color and add the art to my look. So I usually put this on, and the concealer on, and kind of let it sit. So while we are doing that, I'm going to go in with brows, and I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. And this is in the shade Neutral Brown. Now this brow formula is fine. It's not like my favorite, but it'll do. For me, it's mostly like the shade is a little, the shade is a little red in my opinion. Now I did have red hair a long time ago, but I don't have it anymore. It's definitely more blonde now. And as we're going into the winter or fall and winter months, it'll definitely get darker. So I feel like just the tone of it is not terrible. It's the undertone of the red that you can kind of see is just what's a little off. But do I think this formula is bad? No, especially for the price. The pencil is fine. It's just my love is the NYX brow pencil, and I haven't really found anything to beat it quite yet. Yeah, so like as you can see, just putting just the brow pencil in, it definitely fills them in. It's just, for me, it's the tone that's just off. It's just like a smidge red. At the time of filming this, we have been in the house. This is our 3rd week in the house, and we have made some really good progress of like unpacking and organizing. Today we had a fence guy come out because we do need a new fence, and also we are near like a main road, so we want to get a taller fence for privacy reasons and also help with like road noise. That has been going on, and also setting up in here. We both work from home, so that's been kind of nice, because like during breaks or like our lunchtime, we can just go and like unpack a box, organize something, and like let Milo out, and that part's been really nice. See, like the formula is good. Like it's quick. Yeah, so it's quick. It fills it in really nicely. The point is really good. It's just not my favorite, and I wish it was not as red. You can definitely see it now with like everything filmed in that it is pretty red. But overall, not bad. Like not bad. And you know, if worst case scenario, like if I run out of my next one, like this is not a bad alternative. So going into brow gel, and now this is not exactly my favorite. So this is the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and this is in the shade neutral brown as well. And I gotta say, this is not my favorite. And the reason being is I like a very like stiff, feathered, laminated brow. And see, at first, like you would think, oh girl, that looks good. Like, what are you complaining about? Here's the thing. This does not keep my brows in place whatsoever. I don't know why, because I've seen other people use this and it's like no problem from them. So I don't know if it's just my hair that's why. Like I feel like the tint is really nice and it fills it in really nicely, but they don't like this brow, like honestly looks great. It's up, it's lifted, it's feathered, filled in, but it won't stay like this. It's so bizarre. So unfortunately, like I love e.l.f. and the fact that this is so cheap. Like honestly, I wish it was a little more glue-like. I think this is the best way to describe it. And that's been my like love is the NYX Lift and Snatch. Is it Lift and Snatch? Where is it? It's right behind me. This is my like holy grail product. This is the Thick It Stick It Thickening Brown Mascara, and this is in the shade Cool Ash Brown from NYX. This is my preference over this one. So I would say if you have similar eyebrow preferences to me, like you want a feathered look, you want a locked in kind of a look, and you don't want to have to worry about your brows ever again, then this is not it. This is not it, and it won't, like for me personally with my hair, it does not stay up. So I'm gonna use this up, and which actually I've almost done, but I don't think I'll be repurchasing it. Actually, I just found another concealer that I have. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, and this is in the shade Light 26N. This is a quick kind of concealer with a brush applicator, and you just kind of click it up and you brush it on and you blend it out and you're good to go. Great for like when my dark circles are really prominent, when I've had not a whole lot of sleep, which has been happening recently, unfortunately, but it's temporary. And I feel like it's really good for that. But honestly, with the fact that these other concealers are just so easy, I don't see myself repurchasing this, and I haven't really been reaching for this either. So I don't know. That's kind of up to debate. I think the formula is fine, but with the way like I put like the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer underneath, this does not mix well with this. So it'd be one of those like days where I just literally put on concealer, mascara, maybe a brow and a lip product, and then get out the door. That's like a maybe. But I don't know. I feel like if I'm just gonna do concealer, I'm just gonna reach for one of these. So that's that. So as I keep talking about it, I should probably blend out my concealer. And I'm using the e.l.f. What is this? Oh, I've had this so long. It's the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. I've had this forever. And I've actually repurchased this, and I really like it. e.l.f. does have some really good brushes. Like if you're a beginner, I think these brushes will be really nice because one, they're not too expensive, but they do a really good job. So I think it's a great start, especially if you are a beginner. e.l.f. was like, as an adult, e.l.f. is the brand that I went to like try different like makeup products, especially like colored ones. So I think eyeshadows, and if I wanted to dip into a trend, I would look at e.l.f. to see if e.l.f. has gone on to that trend. And because they're super affordable. Now, granted, I know with like inflation, prices have gone up and e.l.f. has gone up over the years just because popularity and other things like that. But e.l.f. has always been like a go-to of mine for makeup. Honestly, like this has been popular for a while and it's with good reasoning that this is popular. I keep looking over here because I have a mirror over here, my little standing mirror. Now, I am not one to be like, okay, you must have eye primer or anything, and I also don't think my lids are so discolored and veiny that I honestly think I need eye primer just for the opacity, you know, to cover up everything. But I have heard that just using an actual dedicated eyeshadow primer just helps with your eyeshadow, like blending, lasting, you name it. I have actually not used an eyeshadow primer really ever, so I've only like done concealer and or nothing. That is all blended out. As you can see, like everything's all brightened and all good to go. Now on to bronzer. Now for cheek products, I do have 2 creams and 1 powder. And the first one is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Honey Drip. I have heard many mixed reviews about this, and I really like their putty blushes, but I have not tried their bronzer because every time I went to go find it, it was sold out. Now this shade Honey Drip, I think is the second or third. It's definitely a little bit, ooh, it looks really red on camera, but in person it definitely looks a little bit more cool tone. But same packaging as a putty blush. Like I said, this is not a new product, so I'm just gonna go in with the e.l.f. Face Sculpting Face brush. I use this for all of my cream bronzers and just tap in. Now, I would have gone with like the 3rd or 4th shade if this was summer, but we're going into fall. I'm already starting to lose my tan, unfortunately. So I went with like the one, I think, that one I can either build up in the summer and then just use in the fall. Okay, so I'm noticing one, it looks really patchy. Like, what the heck? It looks very patchy on camera. Wondering if it's doing that. Oh, it looks okay, like super up close. It just looked really patchy for some reason. And okay, I'm gonna go forehead. Now I'm like slowly building this up because that's how I like to do it instead of just like going ham and like really soaking the brush in. But I'm wondering if that's what actually I need to do. So you can kind of see like the difference. Sculpted, not sculpted. Brought a little bit of color back in. Yeah, see, it looks like really patchy right there. And I don't know why, because it's not looking like that. I wonder, is that like a glare? I don't know. First impression, like the tone I think is good. It's just, I think it's very light for what I'm used to. So I'm wondering if it's just one of those that I just need to go ham. And I'm trying to figure out if stippling or, I don't know. See, like there it looks fine. Definitely looks a lot redder, but that could be the fact that I need to clean my brushes. You know what? Let me try a different brush actually. This is the BH Cosmetics number 3 brush. See, on this side, like it didn't take me as long to build up and not as much layering, but for whatever reason, this side did. I feel like it blends really easy, so it's very, like, it reminds me definitely of the putty blushes, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I think it looks okay right now, but we'll just have to see. I keep piling it on, so it's like I'm gonna have to keep testing that one out because I'm not 100% sure on that. Like, I don't know if it's too light, not the right tone. Like, I don't know. That's bizarre because usually I can figure that out pretty quickly. Okay, on to blush. Now I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Putty Blush, and this is in the shade Bali. As you can see, it's a really, really rich, like reddish brown. And you may think, oh, Marissa, you're crazy. That looks a little dark. But I go in pretty light-handed, and I just kind of blend. And then you'll see I kind of like to mix blushes sometimes, and then it kind of creates a really unique tone. And I mix, what I'll do is I'll put like a certain bright cream blush, and then I'll go on top of the powder that kind of neutralizes, like a powder blush that kind of neutralizes it a little bit. Yeah, it's, I don't know what it is with this side where it looks really patchy, so I don't know if it's the glare. Marissa editing Marissa will be like, girl, you crazy, it just, you're tired. I don't know. Yeah, I really like this formula. I also have this blush in Turks and Caicos, which is a really peachy, bright color. I really like this formula. I think it lasts on me a very long time. It's really easy to use. As you can see, it's like on this side, we're looking okay. We're looking okay. Now, do I think these are like super long lasting? I don't think so. I definitely feel like it lasts a lot longer when I combine it with other blushes, but I don't think these are super long lasting. But I think this is a really cool, like reddish rusty color. It kind of ends up turning peachy on me. I do plan on getting other shades in that blush because I do really like the formula. It's one of those things, yeah, it's not really long lasting, but because I always layer, it's fine. And also, I just, like I said, I really like the putty formula where I feel like it fills in my pores. It doesn't really accentuate them like a whole lot. Yeah, I'm looking at it real close in this like super zoom mirror, and it looks really smooth. For powder, I am going to go in with the Halo Glow setting powder, and this is in the shade medium, and this powder is super glowy. I love this powder, and I'm going to go in with a really big fluffy brush. Just pick up like a little bit, swirl it in here to get it into the brush. And then honestly, I just kind of go all over. I really like this powder. I think the glow is not glittery. I think it brings back life to my skin, especially if I put really matte products underneath. I just think it gives like such a youthful glow and healthy glow. So, and that's the other thing too, like I can tell like the bronzer is getting a little faded by the powder. This is why I use a big fluffy brush, because I'm not packing it on, so it shouldn't be super high coverage. Because I like seeing my freckles, I like seeing my skin underneath. I've been blessed with really good skin, so I don't have the need to cover her if I don't really want to. Not that I think anyone needs to, but in my opinion, like I don't feel like I need to cover, and I like seeing my freckles. Oh, I did forget to set my under eyes. So then I go with like a eyeshadow brush, and then I go into the same powder. This powder is fine underneath, on my underneath my eyes, like on my under eye. I do think that sometimes it can darken, but sorry, my card got full. So what I was saying is the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder underneath the eyes, if I go in the super fluffy brush, I think it's fine. Sometimes it can darken. It just really depends on what concealer I'm using, but as you can see, it definitely covered a lot more. And you can see there is a glow on my skin, but it's not glittery or too much in my opinion. Okay, so I don't have powder bronzer, but I'll keep it kind of drugstore price. I'm going to go in with the Ulta Beauty Baked Bronzer. It's been a while since I've used this one. I always like to layer because I feel like that makes it definitely a lot more definitely more long lasting when I do this, at least on my skin. Now granted, my skin is normal to dry, definitely gets drier in the fall and winter, which in Texas we're not quite to fall temperatures yet, but we're getting there. And my skin doesn't exactly like eat up makeup, so that's a plus. I really like this bronzer because it definitely gives a subtle glow, but again, not too much. And also my preference definitely to be a little bit more glowy than matte, although I have a feeling that might be changing. We'll just see. I just honestly, I'm playing. I'm figuring it out. I'm, just learning. That's what I'm doing. I'm a little all over the place, guys. Like, it's a little bit late at night, so if I seem a little like, woo, it's because I'm tired and it's been a week. Like, let's just say it's been a week and I'm ready for the weekend. Tomorrow is Lauren's birthday. At the time of filming, tomorrow's Lauren's birthday, so really excited. We're going out to dinner in Dallas and it's just gonna be a good time. So yeah, I'm ready for the weekend. Okay, moving on to powder blush, which I do have. This is the e.l.f. Bite Size Duo in the shade Spiced Apple. This is a blush that I like to use to tone down a really bright blush because it's a little bit more neutral, or if one combo I've been doing is doing like a cool tone pink cream blush and then putting this on top, and it just makes this really cool neutral blush. It looks like a lot on camera, but in person it actually looks really nice. Highlighter here is a little dark for me right now, so I have used it as a shadow before, but it's not something I totally reach for. But I do like this blush formula, and it's very matte. And that's another thing too that I like to do, is I like to balance the glow with the matte, and just turns into this really like natural skin like feel. So yeah. Okay, for highlighter, I did not have an e.l.f. highlighter. I do have like the e.l.f. palette, but that is no longer being used, and I don't want to show you guys something and you not be able to get it. So for highlighter, I'm going to go into the Essence Pure Nude. Again, staying with the drugstore feel. This is another brand that I'm thinking I want to do like a full face of. So hit the like button or comment down below if you'd be interested in me doing a full face of Essence. Because I have tried a couple of their products, but there are still a lot of products from the brand that I have not tried. See, that just looks so nice. Love this highlighter. Okay, now on to eyes. Now eyes is where I went a little crazy, and I'm kind of not sure what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I have these No Budge shadow sticks that I have in all these different colors. Now this blue one, I think I'm gonna go for more of a greeny bronzy look. So this Midnight Sapphire one, I'll have to use another time. And then I have these two matte shadows. One is Thrift Shop, one is Cool Beans, so I might tap into those. The Champagne Crystal one could be pretty, but I'm not sure. The other things I got are the pot versions of the No Budge eyeshadows. This is in Sand Dune. I also have Plateau, which is dark brown, and then in Sahara. So Sahara might not work for what I'm thinking, so I'm going to use that another time. And then the other thing I got is the liquid metallic eyeshadow in the shade Galaxy. As you can see, this like brown bronze is apparently on my mind. And it's definitely been one color that I've been drawn to. I also got the Bite Size eyeshadows in the Cream and Sugar. This is not the direction I want to go for, so I'm gonna try this another time. It looks like a really great travel, everyday kind of palette, and I've heard nothing but good things about that, so. The other thing I have eyeshadow wise, I do have 2 eyeshadow palettes from them. This is the New Classics one, which has been beat up. If you see my Project Pan series, you know that this one's been kind of beat up. And then the Earth and Ocean. Both of these, this one is in my Project Pan, but this one I kind of took out because I wasn't reaching for it. And honestly, now I'm looking back, I haven't had a need for it. So I think this is a great starter everyday palette. Like, this is probably a palette that I think I should purchase for my mom because I think she would use a lot of these shades. But for me, since my collection's growing, I have a lot of these shades in other palettes that I am reaching for. So personally, I don't see myself repurchasing this, and these shadows might be on the outs anyways. So I think it's a really good like starter palette, honestly, and the formula is really nice. The Earth and Ocean palette is one I really like. These are the eyeshadow colors that I really enjoy. As you can see, this poor shadow has like broken and crumbled numerous times, but I have tried a lot of these shadows and I really enjoy it. And actually today I'm thinking of being in this like green yellow kind of area, and I am going to do something I haven't really done before, and that is a halo eye. Yeah, I have not done a halo eye before, and this is gonna be interesting. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start out with this No Budge Matte Shadow Stick in the shade Thrift Shop. I'm gonna kind of put that all over the lid to try to get some sort of base going. I think so for these, I think these might be a little dark for what I'm going for. So I think I'm gonna try those another time. But I'm really excited about those. Well, first I'm gonna start with this eyeshadow stick in Thrift Shop. It's like this crayon kind of formula. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen these. Now, I have not used an eyeshadow crayon like this before, so it's actually coming off a little greeny too. It feels very smooth. That's actually a really pretty color. It doesn't seem super taupey. Like, it's not what I expected. It's pretty though, and it feels really smooth. Wow, that was like super fast. And that covered like my whole lid. Huh. Wow. That's super, yeah, I like that. I'm actually gonna go underneath. Wow, those feel so nice. Why haven't I not bought these very fast? Like, I am going to go in with, Desert Storm. Just this like pukey, greeny kind of color. The video's gonna be so long because I've just been like talking. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Desert Storm on this BH Cosmetics number 8 brush. It's a little bit more precise, and I'm gonna go in the crease. Definitely feel some tugging, like that cream shadow is definitely pretty sticky. Now, I have used this palette numerous times, and I have had it for a while. It's in my project pan because I found myself like not really reaching for it, but I think the formula is really nice. And like I said, like these are colors that I really enjoy. I'm gonna go underneath, smoke it out a little bit. And it's so funny, every time I put on and wear green eyeshadow, it makes my eyes look green. But I do have brown eyes, in fact. The cream shadow seems to be playing nice, although it seems to be like fading right here in this like corner, or like outer third almost, where it's like on this side, on my right eye, it's doing really well. So maybe it's just the technique, like I'm not blending it right. Okay, got that started. I'm going to use the same brush, and I think what I want to do is go into Spruced Up, which is this really bold green color. I'm going to put that like on the outer and inner portion and end up maybe going all over my lid, but we'll see. So I'm going to try to like focus it on the outer. These are really pretty green. I definitely need to play with color more, and that's like my goal. Because honestly, like deep down in terms of like design and just things that I am attracted to, color is kind of up there. Like my preference is definitely color over black and white. I am drawn to things that have more color than I am and then in black and white. But it's just so funny because on like my day-to-day I end up going, I have a lot of black in my wardrobe. I think it's just because I worked in corporate and that was always obviously the easiest to dress in. Like I said, I've never done a halo eye, so I have no idea if I'm even doing this right. So don't judge me. I'm not a makeup artist. I have just turned into a lover of beauty, and I've definitely consumed beauty content. Do I consume a ton of beauty content? Actually, no. Because actually, a lot of creators I have followed who I found through like being interested in beauty, a lot of them have steered away from beauty and done like turned, I don't want to say lifestyle because that's not accurate either. They just kind of expanded what they show. But I've always been a fan of it, you know, doing pageants and modeling and acting. Like you end up getting some really interesting makeup looks a lot of the time. And a lot of the stuff I have learned, well, now, if I say now, like now, now I have learned a lot of my stuff and techniques that I've used from YouTube and also just kind of playing around and just messing around, honestly. That's how I've learned some of these things and techniques I use was through YouTube. But before, it was through makeup artists that have worked on me, and then I would sit there because you're sitting in a chair for at least an hour getting your hair and makeup done. And I would just ask questions, make conversation, and you're like, well, why are you doing this? Well, reasons X, Y, Z. Or why are you doing this? Well, the look kind of calls for this, so you need to do this. And it's just, that's where I've learned a lot of my stuff. Also, my mom used to sell Mary Kay, which if you're millennial, you know what that is. So a lot, actually my first makeup products weren't like e.l.f, but it was Mary Kay. Wow, this brush is doing a really good job of like keeping it where I want it. And I really like that color. Green, yeah. I can see it as I'm looking in the mirror that my eyes are turning green. It's so crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go back into that Desert Storm color and just kind of blend. I may have to go back in and like back and forth to get that green to pop. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go in with a flat, or do I wanna go with my finger? No, I'm gonna go with the flat brush. This is a BH Cosmetics number 7 brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Sahara, which is this shimmery green. I'm gonna put it right on the edge of where I had the green. Like right there. This might not go according to plan, but we'll see. I'm just playing I got nowhere to go. I'm just playing and seeing how this halo eye turns out. I think I went in a little far on that one. No, I think it's okay. Because I do want to use one of the cream shadows. And I'm never like sure if like a halo eye is like flattering. That's okay. That's the other thing like I love about makeup. It's just like one, it washes off, so that's cool. Like nothing's permanent. It's not like a tattoo, and it's such an art form. You're straight up painting a face. That's just so cool to me. That's also like I think I've said this in previous videos. Like look at that. That's so cool. Definitely need to add back some more of that green to kind of blend it a little bit more. Yeah, I have been definitely inspired and drawn to adding more color, playing with more color, because it's fun. Like makeup is supposed to be fun. So I could go in with like this mustard yellow in the center, but I feel like it's not really bright enough. But let me swatch it. And then like if I put like Gold Rush or Sun Yourself on top, like that might be really cool. I don't know. Oh, wow, okay. So it is pretty light. Ooh, it almost feels like clay. Interesting. Oh, wow, okay. I like barely put anything in. Let's see, let go. It's kind of blended out. It's almost close to my skin tone. Let's see, so imagine that, and then for the bright yellow on top, why not? Wondering, okay, do I go, let's start with finger, since I'm already kind of like digging in. That like did nothing. If anything, that like messed it up. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the BH Cosmetics brush in number 10. Ooh. You know what's funny is my husband's gonna love this eye look because green is his favorite color. Ooh, I really like these. This is turning out so good. And I feel like this makeup looks like too bad I have nowhere to go. I really like these. I'm gonna need to do like a full-on mustardy look with that because I think that's gonna be super pretty like all over the lid. Are you kidding? Okay, make sure it's tight. I'm excited about that. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go back in with that light green color, the Sahara, to kind of blend the outside a little bit. I'm gonna go in with my finger. I'm gonna go into the shade Gold Rush. I feel like this eye looks so much more blended than this eye. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Desert Storm, blend everything together. Oh man, this looks so cool. I'm gonna go actually into that fluffier brush. Actually, go into this. I think I went a little much on the inner corner. Hold on. Okay, so that's first attempt at a halo eye. Like, what do we think? That looks super cool. Wow, that was using e.l.f. products. Like, gosh, I hope it looks just as blended on camera. Like, that looks so good. It could be like a touch more blended, but overall I think that looks really good. Okay, so I'm gonna go on the inner corner. I'm just gonna kind of flip on the other side of this brush. I'm going to use the shade Sun Yourself. I'm going to put that on the inner corner and brow bone. That looks, wow. I give myself probably like an A minus. Not, I feel like not bad for like mixing creams and powders and doing a halo eye, and then on top of it doing a green one, like the green with the yellow, like I'm not mad at it. I'm happy about that. Okay, I'm gonna spray with the ColourPop Hyaluronic Acid setting mist. And then for eyeliner, I have the e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner in the shade Coffee. I wanted to try this because I've been really liking brown eyeliner. Again, the color brown, I don't know what is up with it. I'm going to line the upper lash line just very tightly. Or should I do green? Honestly, I think I'm just going to go in the brown on the lower lash line. But before I do that, I'm going to go in with mascara. And the mascara I'm going to use is the Big Mood Mega Volume and Lifting Lash Mascara. And this is in the shade Deep Green. I wanted to try this green out. I've heard, again, mixed reviews on this. I think that happens a lot with e.l.f. because it's just everyone's makeup preferences are so different. I have tried the e.l.f. Limitless Lash Mascara, and I did not like that, where I knew some people actually really liked that mascara. I did not like it at all. So this is the second e.l.f. mascara that I'm going to be trying, and so we'll see. So this is the Big Mood, and it's a huge wand. It reminds me of the, is it the Too Faced one? A little bit. That's what it reminds me of. This is in a deep green color, so let's see. Okay, so I put like a couple of coats and you can barely see the green, and I'm wondering if it's because the green eyeshadow. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it, but definitely put some volume in my lashes. I'll give it that. It definitely reminds me a little bit of like the Maybelline Sky High, Too Faced Better Than Sex one. Oh, there's the green. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's green like after, or you can definitely tell it's green on the lower lash line. And that's after, I don't know if you can tell the difference, that's after one coat. I mean, not bad. Not my, it seems like it's a little dry, so I don't know if this is supposed to be a drier formula, but definitely feels a lot more dry. I think my lashes look good. I just wish like the green was a little more prominent, in my opinion. So yeah, and like this just definitely just feels like super dry. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with that eyeliner. Mascara, not I don't know. I need to test it out a little bit more. I do like that it coated them really well. It definitely gave a little bit of volume and curl, but I don't know if it beats the Act Natural from ColourPop, or if it beats Maybelline Sky High, which is my favorite. I don't think so. Also, too, I'm like kind of focusing on like the color, and I'm not really seeing it, but I'll have to ask Jordan. But I do like my lashes. I just don't think they're like there. Like I think I can get more from my other mascaras. The eyeliner glided on really good, and it definitely defined, but I feel like I have to keep going over it. So, well, I'll have to see how it wears. But I do like the color. Like, the color is really nice. Nice warm brown. Gosh, I love my eyes. Like, they look so cool. Like, I really like my eyes. Like, wow. Okay. Okay, moving on to lips. Now, I don't have a lip liner from e.l.f, but I did snag this. This is the e.l.f Glossy Lip Stain in the shade Power Mauves, and I've heard some really good things about this, and it's just been so long since I've used like a stain, so this will be interesting. Okay, so tiny little packaging. Okay, seems like it's a little moussey, but I'm just gonna go in without a liner because I don't have one, and this is lip stain, so it should be fine. Not the color I thought. Definitely brought, whoa, it looks really bright. Definitely brought pigment back to my lips. Not goopy. Definitely feels really smooth, and it feels really glossy. I don't know. What do we think? Like, I like it. I think oh, there's like it's almost like when I first put it on, it seemed like really like bright and like pinky. But now I'm looking at it, definitely has like died down to more of like a mauve-y kind of color. Yeah. It feels really comfortable. Let's see. It's a stain that's probably gonna transfer. Actually, not too bad. You can kind of barely see it. Let's see. Try again. Yeah, not a whole lot of transfer. And still like feel like I left a stain. Like there's still pigment on my lips. Now my lips have absolutely like no opacity or pigmentation, like whatever. They're like, if I don't put anything on it, it's almost like my lips aren't even there. So even after like kissing that off, like I still feel like it's comfortable. I feel like I got color. Wow, I really like that. I'm not mad at that at all. Now I don't think it's the right color with this eye look, but that's okay. Yeah, I really like this. I think this will be good, like purse lip, especially if I'm like I have to go into the office and I'm like in a meeting all day, like, and so I can still have like color on my lips. I really like it. Oh my goodness, that is like everything. So I'm gonna zoom you all out and kind of give my thoughts on everything that I have. Yeah, so that is a full face of e.l.f. and I created this green and yellow halo eye. I think it turned out really cool. But let me give you some like little thoughts on some of the new products I tried. This e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner in Coffee. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I feel like it is already fading on me, and I haven't had it on for longer than 10 minutes, so not sure what that's about. I'm wondering if it's one of those products that need to be warmed up. So stay tuned for my future thoughts on that in a future speed reviews. The Putty Bronzer, I am on the fence on. I'm not sure if it's fading. I'm not 100% yet. So I'm gonna have to keep testing it. I don't know if it's just really light for what I'm used to, and it might be one of those where it's like deep into winter. It might work for me. Or maybe it just straight up contour and I have to combine it with another kind of bronzer to get the look that I'm going for. It definitely is the same formula as the blushes, at least in my opinion. It's the same formula as the blushes, which I already love. This was the one in Bali that I used today. The Power Mauves lip stain, I think, is very comfortable. It definitely stained my lips, and they don't feel like goopy, they don't feel sticky. They were transfer resistant for sure, and I feel like my lips have really nice color, and my lips are definitely pretty opaque, or definitely pretty pale. That's what I meant to say. not opaque. They're the opposite of opaque. This e.l.f. No Budge Matte Shadow Stick in the shade Thrift Shop. I think it went on really nice, very creamy. It canceled out any veins I had, even though I already had the concealer. It didn't seem to disturb the concealer underneath, one, and two, the eyeshadow when I'm blending it. Oh yeah, by the way, you can see the lip stain on my hand there. Just get you an idea, kind of blend it out a little bit. Anyways, this matte shadow stick was really nice, very creamy, felt very smooth when I had it on. I still feel like I could blend eyeshadow on top of it. So really excited about these. The Big Mood mascara in the shade Deep Green. I think that it coated my lashes. I think it could have done more, to be honest. I see the green tint and I'm wondering if I did a different color eye look that it'll pop more, but I feel like I can get more for my lashes with other mascaras that I have. But do I think it's an okay mascara? Do I completely regret the purchase? No. I just think I can get more for my other ones. And then the lash serum, I did say earlier that I'll need to keep testing it to see if this actually does anything. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I think that is everything that I tried. As you can see, e.l.f. is definitely a company that I really enjoy. I've had products from them for years and I continue to repurchase from them. They were my number one makeup company, but other companies have kind of come up with other products that I'm getting really excited for. So e.l.f. will always be in the top 5 just because they're a classic company. They're great for if you're just starting out in makeup and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, because the quality is really nice. And if you're just trying to figure it out, or if you're like me where you've been around makeup for a long time but you want to try more trendy things but you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on the trendy products, so e.l.f. is a great company for that, especially if you want to try trendy colors. They do a great job of it, and I'm like this mustard yellow, I'm super excited about this. I'm gonna definitely do a full eye look with this all over the lid. Oh yeah, by the way, I really like this. I think I forgot to mention this. This is the No Budge cream eyeshadow in Sahara. I really like this. It went on really smooth. Definitely reminds me a little bit of the putty formula. So yeah, those are a win in my book, and I can't wait to try the other shades. Yeah, so e.l.f. overall, they're definitely in the top for me, and I am really excited about the products that I haven't tried yet. And yeah, I definitely recommend them. They, I don't have really anything bad to say. This Earth and Ocean palette, as you can see, that created this really cool green look. I'm super excited, and yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this look. Did I accomplish the halo eye? Do you like green looks? Are you a fan of e.l.f.? What are your favorite e.l.f. products? The ones that I definitely didn't mention today, let me know down below. Also, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, as well as if you want to see a full face of Essence, or comment down below any brands you want me to do a full face one brand video. So yeah, I would love if you subscribe, join the little family over here, and also follow me on @from hem to stem on Instagram. And yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.